What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we're going to talk about the future of music at weddings. And before I start, if you're new here, consider subscribing. It's a great time. I promise. And if you happen to like this video, consider hitting that like button down there. It'll help my algorithms, it'll make me happy, and maybe, just maybe, because you hit that like button, someone who needs to see this shit will see this shit. But anyway, let's get into this. So the future of music at weddings. I decided to make this video because I'm noticing a change, I'm getting different requests, I'm playing different stuff at weddings, and it's definitely evolving. So I figured I would make this video and basically break it down like this. First, we're gonna talk about all the music I think is on its way out or out already. And then I want to talk about all the new music that's popping up in my request list and, music I think that's going to be really prominent in the years moving forward. Now let's start with the old. Now before I get into the music that I think is on its way out, let me tell you why. It's because old people are dying. I'm not trying to be morbid, okay? If that made you think of somebody that made you sad, I'm sorry about that, but it's a fact of life, right? If 22-year-old Bryson is gonna go out on the dance floor and do the twist, it's only because his grandmom is also doing the twist and wanted him to come out with her. He's not gonna just go out and do the twist on his own. It's not gonna happen. If he hears that at a school dance, he's at the school dance, he's got his date, they're having a great time, whatever, the DJ busts out the twist, you think Bryson is gonna do the twist with his girl? No. He's not. So what I'm getting at is the only reason why we still play some of the songs that we play are for the older crowd, the crowd that likes it, the crowd that grew up with that, the crowd that loves to do that dance. That's why we play this stuff. As these older people die and the years go on, this music will die with them. Don't believe me? Let's get into some of the music that I think's already gone. How about big band? When's the last time you played a big band song? In the last 5 years, I might have played it once, but that's only because it was for an intro. I remember one time they asked for it for an introduction for the old people, the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? They're pointing their little fingers coming out or whatever. That's about it. I know years ago, before even I started my career, I know big band music was like something you started your set with and, people jammed and, swing dance and all that, but that's gone. That's been gone because, again, big band music was big in the 40s and in the 50s, and those people are long gone at this point. R.I.P. But speaking about big band, what else is on its way out? The first thing I think is really on its way out is the Runaround Sue type set. Every DJ on the face of this planet has a Runaround Sue set. We all got them. It's been a staple in weddings since the beginning of time, honestly. So I guess for you to hear that, Runaround Sue's on its way out, it's probably shocking. It's probably like, oh, you're bullshit and you don't know what you're talking about. But think about it, okay? This stuff came out in the 60s, people. I mean, how much longer are we going to play this? I've noticed in my playlist that it's slowly going away, where I don't even have to go down that road anymore. People are younger. You only really danced that stuff when you had older people at your weddings. If the doo-wop and Runaround Sue and that whole era of music came out in the 60s, that means it was popular, when you were 12 to 22 in the 60s. So how old would that make you now? Since it's 2020, essentially, this music was popular for people that are now in their 70s and 80s. Now, people in their 70s and 80s still go to weddings. Maybe not as much now that the coronavirus hit. They're probably a little scared to do any groups right now. But regardless, they still go to weddings, but few and far between. When you're in your 80s, you're a little old now. You might skip a wedding or two, right? You're getting up there. So these people are slowly getting older and older, and we are going to be playing these sets less and less. And while we're at it, something you need to keep in mind, the next decade on its way out is the 70s. Now I know there's so many staple tracks in the 70s. Your We Are Family's in there, Celebration, Staying Alive, all these tracks that wedding DJs play at weddings every single weekend. The 70s are still around, okay? We're still playing that stuff, but plan on not doing so within the next 10 years. Because again, if you grew up in the 70s, now you are at least 60 years old. And the last thing on its way out, in my opinion, is the line dances. And it's not because of people dying. This is the only one where it's really just because of how the new generations are. You look at Generation Z and millennials, right? Anybody essentially the age 38 or under at this point. They are the type of people that don't like being told what to do. They don't like organized dancing. They're just not into that stuff, right? They want to dance and have a good time. They don't want you to go out there and, okay, dance like this, and then you just dance around in a square, doing the same moves over and over again for 4 minutes straight. It's just not fun to most people anymore. More and more, these songs are just getting played out. They're being overplayed. They're being used as crutches for a lot of DJs who are like, oh, well, I can't get them to dance. Let me play a line dance and make everybody dance in a certain, like, they're becoming obsolete. They really, really are. If you don't believe me, I'm not going to get deep into this, but I did make a whole video about it. I'll put the link up here, and I really dive in deep in my reasoning why, like, line dances are completely dying. They're on their way out. The only exception I can really see to line dances is when a new one comes out, right? If someone happens to come out with a new one and ends up being a hit, it goes viral or whatever, then you know, for as long as that song is popular, then you might play that at the weddings. Maybe people will do a dance, but I don't think it's going to be like a four-wall, like, you know, like a cha-cha, Cupid shuffle kind of thing where you just go around and do. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it'll be like a song where like there's a TikTok dance to, everyone does the TikTok dance, and then you mix out of it and you go about your day. The days of playing 4.5-minute line dances are nearly over. Now let's talk about new music. Music that's going to be popping up in your request list very shortly. So the first thing I think is coming back really, really strong is 2000s rock. And I mean anything. The stuff that was on the radio, the Blink-182 stuff, the emo stuff from back in the day, Fall Out Boy and all that. That's all coming back, depending on your couple, you know, what kind of rock they like or whatever. But that is a huge, huge, huge throwback era of music that is really, really working at weddings right now. The reason being is, you know, the average couple's between 25 and 35 years of age. So when they were growing up as a teenager and stuff, these were like the poppin' songs in the rock realm. And, you know, it's a great thing. You throw a Fall Out Boy song on right now, they're going to sing every word and it's going to bring them back to when they were in high school, right? Rather, if you threw a Fall Out Boy song on 10 years ago, everybody would be like, oh, that was that corny band that like I never got into because I was already an adult at that point. So it's a common theme here, right? As the years go on, we have different ages of people that grew up in different eras of music, and they're going to like different stuff. So us as DJs have to evolve. Seriously, let me know in the comments if you guys have, you know, been seeing an uptick in requests for like the 2000s rock and stuff, because I definitely have. Almost every single wedding, I'm dropping an old banger from back then. The next kind of music that's becoming really prominent at weddings and will big time in the future is trap music. When I say trap music, that's the new kind of hip hop. A lot of it is typically in the 70 BPM range. Your Migos, your Drakes, all that sort of stuff. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, oh, trap sucks, it's not real hip hop, I can't stand it, it's a fad. Guess what? It's not. It's here to stay, okay? Trap is topping the charts year after year after year. And it has been for almost 10 years now. I mean, trap really started coming out in 2011, 2012-ish. So, you know, it's here to stay. This is something that if you don't know a lot about, you better learn quick, because you're going to get more and more and more requests for it. Now, what I did to help me out is I made a playlist essentially with the top trap songs over the last few years, all the hits, anything from Drake to Migos to Fetty Wap, you know, all that kind of stuff. I made myself a solid list, all clean versions, and I have that within my wedding crates. That way, if I have the crowd for it, if it's a younger crowd, or if I know my couple's into that sort of thing, I got a whole list of bangers that I can dive into that I know is gonna work. Kind of like how I do all my playlists, which reminds me, I just dropped my trap playlist on my site. The link is in the description if you want to check that out. It's got every single banger you'd ever need if you happen to come across the wedding where a couple wants to hear trap, wants to hear that. You know what I'm talking about? Then obviously it goes without saying when it comes to top 40 music, pop, you know, things that are on the radio now, you want to keep up with that stuff because most couples that get married are younger, so they might be keeping up with that stuff. They might be liking the music on the radio, and you want to keep up with that stuff. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. For me, just a little tip here, like I keep a top 40 crate within my Serato, and I update it weekly on whatever the top 40 is on Billboard, and I might check like Apple Music and Spotify and see if like there's anything missing in there, and I keep that like loaded with all the new stuff. So if I ever want to freshen up my set, I can always refer to the top 40 crate. I know like those are the songs that are on the radio right now, and it just keeps me dialed in with all the new music. You know, even just being able to look in the folder, organize it by BPM, like, hey, you know what, this song actually would probably go with the song I'm playing. Let me play something new right now, you know, and it just works. So that's something that I do. I keep that updated, and it allows me to, you know, really keep my sets fresh and dialed in. But tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're noticing. Did I miss a genre? I mean, what do you think is going out? What do you think is going in? This is something that's constantly changing, and I'm just super interested in like what's going on around the world. So definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what's up. I'll get right back to you. And as always, seriously, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next week.